Let me know if you'd like a full chapter draft next or character bios. The apartment smelled like oranges and dust. I stood in the doorway with one grocery bag still hanging from my left arm, the other already slipping from my fingers. There was a sound I hadn't noticed before, not a sound, really. The absence of it. Max? I called once, soft.no answering tags jingled. No scrabbling pause, his leash still hung on the hook. I stared at it for a beat too long before closing the door. Behind me. The air was still. It felt posthumous. I set the bags down, moving slowly. There was a note on the kitchen island. My name written in Eric's uneven scrawl. I didn't touch it yet. Instead, I walked down the hall. The closet was half empty. Suits gone. Shoes gone. His favorite black coat, gone. A drawer left open like an apology. In the bathroom, his cologne was missing. His razor. Even the toothbrush holder looked unbalanced with just mine in it. I returned to the kitchen. The letter was 2 paragraphs long. Legalistic in tone. Detached. He'd moved out while I was at work. He'd already spoken to a lawyer. No animosity, he wrote, just irreconcilable needs. Then, the final line, I'm keeping Max. I need him more than you do. I didn't read it again. I folded it in half and slipped it into the fruit bowl like trash I'd throw away later. The door buzzed downstairs. I pressed the intercom. Yes? It's me. Eric's voice. Can I come up? I took a breath. Already took everything. What's left? I want to talk. I didn't answer. But I buzzed him in. He entered the apartment like a stranger. He looked thinner than he had 2 weeks ago. No wedding ring. You left the leash, I said, didn't think I'd need it. He gestured toward the hook. Didn't want to assume. You assumed a lot of other things. He rubbed his jaw. It wasn't about you. That's convenient. He looked past me, around the kitchen. It's weird being back. It already feels different. It is different. I wasn't trying to blindside you. I leaned against the counter. Eric, you emptied your side of the closet while I was at work. You left a note. I couldn't do it face to face. You chose not to. There's a difference. He looked down. I thought you'd understand. That you took the dog? That I needed him. I stared at him. You didn't even like walking him. I grew to. No. You tolerated it. Max is mine. You know that. He walked a slow circle around the island, hands in his jacket pockets. We both loved him. I loved him, I said. You liked the way people looked at you when you walked him through the park. That's not fair. You want fair? Let's talk about how you emptied the joint account last Friday. Did you think I wouldn't notice? He stiffened. That money was half mine. You timed it. You wanted control before I knew anything was happening. His silence told me everything. I tilted my head. You could have asked for anything. But you took Max. That's what makes this war. He exhaled. It's not a war, it's just, look, I'm not doing great. I needed something familiar. And I didn't? I didn't mean to hurt you. You just didn't care if you did. He flinched at that. A visible crack. I'm sorry, he said. I nodded once. You will be. He looked up. That a threat? No. A promise. He stepped back, suddenly unsure. You're not going to fight me for him, are you? I'm not going to fight, I said. I'm going to win. He blinked. What does that mean? It means you took something that wasn't yours. And I won't scream or beg or post about it. But I don't forget. I left. That was honest. No. That was easy. He shifted again. You never said you were unhappy. I wasn't. You were. His face changed. I didn't plan this to hurt you. You never plan. That's the problem. You drift into damage and call it fate. We stood in silence. The city murmured outside the window. Max should have barked at something by now. I miss you, he said quietly. No, I replied. You miss who I made you feel like. He nodded slowly, then turned toward the door. You're not getting him back, he said, not turning around. You never had him, I answered. He left. The door clicked shut behind him. I picked up the leash, ran my fingers along the worn leather. Then I sat down, alone, with the silence. I sat on the floor with the letter beside me, unopened now, though I'd read it 4 times already. The tone, the phrasing, it was him. But diluted. As if he wrote it in the voice of a man he wanted to be. You knew, I said aloud, though the apartment was empty. You planned. I picked up my phone, scrolled through old texts. Birthday photos. A video of Max with whipped cream on his nose. Then the one from 2 months ago, Eric at that rooftop party, arm around someone not named me. I hadn't said anything then. I tapped call. He answered on the 3rd ring. Hey. You signed it with your full name. Formal. Pause. You deserved respect. Respect would have been saying it to my face. You wouldn't have listened. I Would've. I just wouldn't have agreed. He exhaled. Look, I didn't want to fight. You didn't want discomfort. Different thing. There was a rustle, he was walking. Why are we doing this now? Because I'm curious. When did you stop being the man I married? He laughed once. Is that a trick question? No. A real one. Silence, maybe around the time you started talking to Max more than me. Max listened. I did too. No, Eric. You calculated. You mirrored. There's a difference. I was trying. You were always removed. I stood, pacing to the window. You used that word before. When I didn't cry at your mother's funeral. You stood like a statue. I was holding you up. You never saw it. He didn't respond. I continued, when you lied about the bonus check, what was that? Trying? That was, he cut himself off. That was survival. You bought yourself a watch. I needed to feel something. You could have told me. You wouldn't have understood. I laughed. You keep painting me as unreachable, Eric. But I was right there, asking questions you didn't want to answer. I didn't want to disappoint you. You didn't want to lose control. That's not fair. It is. You kept secrets, not out of shame, but strategy. His voice dropped. Okay. Maybe I did. I blinked. That's the first honest thing you've said in a while. I lied to stay ahead of what you expected. I never asked for perfection. Just presence. He sighed. You were always 2 moves ahead. I was playing defense. You resent me for being prepared? I resented you for not needing me. I closed my eyes. And so you punished me by leaving with Max. He loves me too. That's not what we're talking about. No, he said softly. It's not. There was a beat of silence. I broke it. You remember the night your car got towed and we walked 6 miles home? He chuckled. Yeah. You made a game out of it. I did. Because I wanted you to feel safe. Like it was us against the problem. I remember. I don't think you ever wanted that. You wanted me to solve the problem and thank you for watching. That's not true. Then why did you sabotage everything I built? The account transfers, the sudden withdrawals, the delays in signing that lease extension. You think I was trying to take you down? I think you didn't want me to rise if you weren't rising too. That's cruel. No, Eric. That's clarity. I heard him swallow. You said once that we were a team. We were. No. We were a costume you wore. He went quiet. I added, you played devoted husband in public. At home, you resented me. I didn't know how to be enough for you. I never asked you to be more than real. And you were always so composed. So damn self-possessed. That's how I survived you. That hit. I could feel it in the silence. I'm not the villain, he said. No, I agreed. You're just not the hero either. Another silence. I miss you, he whispered. You miss being admired. I miss being forgiven. I forgave too much. He said nothing. I stared at the city below. Goodbye, Eric. He didn't stop me. I ended the call, then I deleted every photo. Every message. Every trace of who I thought he was. ***. Carla sat across from me with her reading glasses halfway down her nose, flipping through the thick blue folder with surgical precision. He drafted this himself, she asked without looking up. He insisted. Said he wanted us to start clean. She let out a low whistle. God bless the egotistical man with a word template and no legal training. I sipped my coffee. You see it? I see it. She tapped the 3rd tab. Clause 14C. All premarital real estate holdings shall remain the sole property of the original deed holder unless otherwise transferred via notarized amendment. I never filed an amendment. No, she said. You signed the joint ownership declaration, but you never recorded a deed change. And since the co-op board never updated their records, it's still mine. Technically? Yes. Legally? We can prove it. I leaned back. He forgot. Carla looked up, eyes sharp. He underestimated you. Worse. He underestimated what I remember. Her lips twitched. You always were the archivist. He used to tease me for keeping physical files. Said digital backups were more efficient. Carla flipped to another document. Eric's lawyer emailed this morning. He's claiming he contributed to the renovation. He picked the paint. Color in the guest bathroom. Hard labor, she deadpanned. Do we respond? We ignore it for now. Let them feel the weight of silence. Then we file notice with the board. I nodded. Do it. Carla paused. You're calm. I'm surgical. She smiled. That's why I like working with you. No theatrics. No need. She closed the folder. When do you want to move on it? Soon. He thinks he's safe. He's not. I looked out the window. He moved her in already. Jade. She posts. Publicly. Perfect. Timelines documented. It'll work in your favor. I turned back. Do we go scorched earth? Carla considered. Not yet. Controlled burn. The silence stretched. You think I'm cruel? I asked. I think you're precise. He took Max. I'd say this is proportional. I nodded once. She leaned forward. What happens when he pushes back? I hope he does. Why? So I can stop pretending I owe him anything. Carla watched me. This isn't about revenge. No, it's about recognition. Yes. She stood. I'll draft the filing. Give me 48 hours. Make it 24. She grinned. I missed this version of you. I didn't. The grin faded. It's going to get ugly. I know. You ready? I've been ready since the day he told me Max would be happier without me. Carla's voice lowered. We'll get the apartment. Maybe more. I don't need more. I just want what's mine. And when you get it? I met her eyes. I'll never let anyone take anything from me again. He posted the photo at 7:14 p.m., Max sitting near the balcony rail, tongue out, skyline glowing behind them. Jade's hand was in the frame. Her bracelets caught the light. I didn't like the photo. I saved it.at 9:03, Amanda called. I saw the post, she said. I didn't know Max stayed with him. He didn't, I said. He was taken. Are you okay? I'm fine. Because it's a lot, all at once. I kept my voice steady. What did he say to you? Amanda hesitated. He told us it was mutual. It wasn't. I figured. How close are you to him now? She exhaled. Honestly? I don't know. It's gotten weird. Then stop pretending it's not. I'm not trying to pick sides. You already have if you're calling to ask how I'm doing instead of calling him to ask why he lied. Silence. I wanted to check in. You did, I said, and ended the call. On Thursday, Eric posted a boomerang of him and Jade clinking glasses on the High Line. Friday morning, his calendar alert still synced to our old shared iCloud. Pinged, Hamptons, 3 nights. By Friday night, they were gone. I waited until dark. Used the key he'd forgotten to revoke. The apartment smelled like her perfume, too floral, too loud. I walked through it quietly, deliberate. Max's bed was near the window. He wasn't there. I started in the closet. My cashmere throw, taken. I folded it and set it aside. My mother's framed watercolor, removed from the guest room and hung above the bed. I took that too. I in the kitchen, my copper pots. The coffee grinder he swore was too loud. Back when we lived here together, the bedroom had been rearranged. The bed moved closer to the window. Her robe on the back of the door. I didn't touch it. Instead, I opened the drawer beneath the bed and pulled out the shoebox I knew he wouldn't throw away. Inside, old cards, notes, receipts from our anniversary trips. I left it. Let her find it. I placed a note where his cufflinks used to be. No signature. Just one sentence. Ownership is not the same as entitlement. When I turned to leave, the front door opened. Amanda stood in the hallway, holding a small brown bag. Her eyes widened. Jesus. I thought you were out of town, I said. I am. I came to drop off a thing Jade left at the store. Does Eric know? She shook her head. No. They won't be back until Sunday. I stared at her. Amanda looked at the items in my arms. Are you robbing them? I smiled slightly. I'm reclaiming. You really still have a key? He forgot a lot of things. She stepped inside and closed the door. This feels dangerous. Only if I get caught. Do you want to be? No, then why not wait? Because waiting is how I lost Max. She looked down. I shouldn't have called you the other night. You were honest. That's rare lately. Amanda hesitated. Do you want help? I paused. Would you really? She nodded. We moved together through the space. Quiet, efficient. She wrapped framed art while I boxed the kitchenware. The silence between us wasn't awkward. It was acknowledgement. When we finished, I opened the linen closet and pulled out my old towels, embroidered initials still faint at the edges. Amanda asked, do you miss him? I didn't lie. Not the real him. Just the part one thought existed. She nodded. He fooled a lot of us. You still see him differently? I see him clearly now. That's worse. We left 10 minutes later. She locked the door behind us. Outside, the wind shifted. He opened the door at 7:48 p.m. Jade, he called, keys jingling against the wood. Why's it so dark in here? His footstep echoed across bare floors. Hello? I watched from the security feed. His voice changed halfway through the hallway, turned sharp, confused. What the? Silence. Then drawers opening, cabinets slamming. Where the hell is? His phone lit up the kitchen. He turned toward the fridge. I knew the moment he saw it, the prenup, clipped in place. Below it, the original deed. My name. My signature. My date that I picked up when he called. What did you do? I removed my belongings. You cleaned the place out. I took back what I owned. He exhaled, shaky. You emptied the whole apartment. Not true. I left the prenup. This isn't funny. I'm not laughing. You didn't even warn me. I didn't know you a warning. This is illegal. Then sue me. He went silent. I continued, the artwork, furniture, kitchenware, all purchased prior to marriage, all documented, all mine. You can't prove that. Carla can. He barked a laugh. You're a tack dog lawyer? Great. She's thorough. And patient. Unlike me. You're vindictive. No. I'm meticulous. He paced. I could see his blurred figure on the feed. Where's Max? Not here. Did you take him? No. He slammed a drawer shut. This is petty. You took my dog, Eric. I didn't steal him. He came with me. He had no choice. He follows who feeds him. Just like you. Don't do that. Do what? Speak plainly. This wasn't the agreement. There was no agreement. He lowered his voice. You made me look like a fool. You did that all by yourself. You ambushed me. I gave you 3 days away. I made it clean. You ambushed me emotionally. You don't know my emotions, either. He paused. You really think this makes you right? I don't care about being right. I care about being done. I live here. Correction. You stayed here. You lived off me. That's not fair. It's documented. He read the documents again. I heard the rustle. You were planning this. Yes. For how long? Since the leash went missing. His voice dropped. You never even cried. I did. You just weren't here to see it. He paced again. Carla won't let this slide. She orchestrated it. She can't do that. She did. Legally. You gave her everything she needed when you logged into our shared tax software and updated nothing. I hate how cold you sound. That's because I stopped negotiating. More silence. You want the apartment? He asked. I have it. This isn't over. No, I said. It's finally started. The first call came at 9:02 p.m. I let it ring. By 9:07, there were 3 more. By 9:12, 5. I turned my phone to silent and placed it face down on the counter. At 10:41, I listened to the first voicemail. You think you're clever? His voice was tight. You think you've won something? You left me with nothing. Nothing. You want to play games, fine. But don't pretend this is noble. Delete. At 11:06, another. I'm not angry. I just want to understand. Please. Talk to me. We were good once, weren't we? I know I made mistakes, but this was cruel. You're better than this. Delete. At 11:52, the third. A pause. Then, do you remember the night it rained on the lake house porch? When the power cut out and we lit those stupid citronella candles? I told you I'd never leave. I meant that. I sat in silence. I don't know who I am without you, he said, his voice smaller now. I don't even know if Max looks for me at night or if he's already forgotten. He laughed, soft and broken. Call me back. Please. I pressed delete, then the phone rang again. I answered. I was wondering when you'd stop hiding, Eric said. I wasn't hiding. 17 missed calls says otherwise. You wanted noise. Not a conversation. He scoffed. You think you're so controlled. I am. I'm unraveling here. I know. You don't care? I care that you finally feel something. I felt everything, he snapped. While you, what? Strategized. Yes. Cold. That's what you are. No. I'm done explaining. You broke into my home, my apartment. You stole my life. I reclaimed mine. He exhaled hard. You're not who I thought. I never was. You just liked the version that didn't challenge you. He was quiet. I was good to you, he said. You were careful. Not good. I tried. You manipulated. I loved you. No, I said. You relied on me. That's different. He sounded hoarse. You're not even upset. I was. Then I got focused. This isn't justice. No, I said. It's balance. Where's Max? Safe. Is he with you? Silence. I miss him, he said. I miss everything. You miss the convenience. I miss being needed. I don't need you. He sounded tired. What do you want from me? Nothing. You can't mean that. I can. And I do. He breathed shallowly. So that's it? That's it. He didn't hang up. I waited. He whispered, I'm not okay. That's not mine to fix. The line stayed open another 5 seconds. Then it went dead. ****. The conference room was too warm, too quiet. Eric adjusted his collar like it itched. Carla didn't look up from her folder. Shall we begin? His lawyer asked. I nodded once. Eric smiled faintly. You look good. I said nothing. His lawyer cleared his throat. Our position remains the same. Mr. Dawson contributed financially and emotionally to the home during the marriage. He's open to a fair split. Carla answered without lifting her eyes. The deed is clear. The prenup is enforceable. No split applies. She invited him to cohabitate, Eric's lawyer countered. She included him in ownership declarations. And signed by the board, Carla said. Declarations that hold no legal weight. Eric leaned forward. I'm not trying to take anything. I just don't want to be erased. I met his eyes. Then you should have left a better story behind. His lawyer interjected. We're prepared to argue implied partnership. Carla slid a document across the table. Receipts. Every purchase predates the marriage. She owns it all. Eric looked at the list. The wine fridge? You're claiming the wine fridge? It's bolted into my property. He turned to me. This is who you've become? I didn't answer. Carla continued. Here's the lease amendment you never filed. The co-op never recognized you as a joint tenant. Eric's lawyer frowned. That can be challenged. Carla didn't blink. And denied. Which they will. I called the board president myself. They've pulled the file. Eric tapped the table, agitated. You're really doing this? Over furniture? I opened my folder and slid a printed email across. He read it. His face drained. Carla filled the silence. That's from 3 months before separation. Sent from his account. To a real estate agent. It outlines intent to sell the apartment once she was out of the picture. His lawyer whispered, You didn't tell me about this. Eric looked at me. You went through my emails? Yours? No. The shared inbox we used for renovations. You forgot to revoke access. This isn't what it looks like. Carla smiled faintly. It's exactly what it looks like. I was venting, he said. That was frustration. Not a plan. Subject line said, next phase begins. I replied. Eric sat back, rattled. You don't understand. No, I said. I finally do. His lawyer leaned in. Eric, we need to pause. No, Eric snapped. She's turning everyone against me. My friends won't even answer. That's not our issue, Carla said. He looked at me. You couldn't just leave it? You didn't. Eric laughed bitterly. You think this makes you powerful? No. It makes me free. He pressed his hands together. You're punishing me for needing something of my own. You took Max. That wasn't revenge. I loved him. And I loved peace. Which you sold off piece by piece. His voice cracked. I didn't know what else to do. You could have tried honesty. He looked down. Carla spoke clearly. We're offering no settlement. You vacate within 10 days. No financial compensation. All personal items will be scheduled for pickup with inventory tracking. Anything disputed will be left. Eric swallowed hard. You're serious? I nodded. This is extreme, his lawyer muttered. Carla raised an eyebrow. It's airtight. Eric looked across the table, all pretense gone. You enjoyed this. No, I said. But I needed it. Why? To remember who I was before I started forgiving you for everything. He pushed his chair back, stood too fast. Carla reached for her phone. We'll expect confirmation in writing by end of day. Eric didn't look at her. He looked at me. Was any of it real? I held his gaze. For me. He blinked. That landed. He turned and walked out. *****. The elevator opened on 5, and the hallway felt smaller than I remembered. The lock clicked smoothly. Inside, the apartment was hollow again, but this time, not broken. Just stripped clean. His scent was gone. The chaos, too. Amanda arrived 20 minutes later, holding 2 coffees and a key I hadn't given her. You left this in the planter downstairs, she said, setting it on the counter. You didn't text. I figured you'd either be furious or fine. Either way, caffeine helps. I took the coffee. Thanks. He's gone? Moved out yesterday. Left the sink full of dishes. That tracks. She smiled faintly. And Jade? Unfollowed. Me. Blocked him. Last I heard, she took a job in Austin. Amanda exhaled. Was it worth it? Yes. She looked around. Feels empty. It's clean. She watched me. Do you miss him? No, Max. I nodded once. Amanda hesitated. I saw him. Last week. At the vet near Lex. Eric was dragging him like a suitcase. My jaw tightened. He looked okay? Tired. Confused. Not hurt. Good. She sipped her coffee. You could fight for him. I already fought for everything else. He's different. I know. But I can't be everywhere. I Have to choose where peace starts. Amanda nodded. You chose here. I chose me. She smiled. You don't talk like someone who lost. I didn't. She sat down on the windowsill. You going to repaint? Eventually. She looked around. Feels like a pause. It is. And a start. Amanda stood. If you ever want company, you don't have to ask. I won't. I said, but I'll answer if you show up. She left the key on the counter. Don't lose this again. Never again. After she left, I walked the rooms in silence. It didn't echo. It breathed asterisk asterisk. I heard the knock before I saw the leash dragging against the tile. When I opened the door, Amanda stood there, no makeup, hair pulled back, and Max sitting quietly beside her. I didn't call, she said, you didn't have to. She stepped aside, and Max looked up at me. Come on, boy, I said, voice steady. He hesitated for a breath, then crossed the threshold like he'd just remembered something. His nose brushed my knee. I knelt. He pressed into my chest. Amanda didn't speak until I stood. Jade left. Took her bags and her dignity. Eric's unraveling. I nodded. Figured. He called me last night. Crying. Sounds right. He said Max stopped eating. That he wouldn't go near the balcony. I looked down at him. He was waiting. Amanda shifted. He asked if I'd keep him for a while. I didn't say yes. I drove straight here. I met her eyes. Why? Because he doesn't get to keep anything anymore. Not even the dog. He'll be furious. He's already broken. I opened the door wider. You want to come in? No, she said. This part's yours. I took the leash from her hand. Thank you. She smiled. Don't lose him again. I won't. Amanda turned to leave. You look lighter. I am. Max padded into the living room, circled once on the rug, and lay down with a sigh. I followed, sat beside him, and watched the sun slide through the window. His breathing slowed. So did mine. Exactly 1,000 words. The contractor looked up from the paint tray. You sure about this shade? Yes. It's bold. I know. He nodded, got back to work. The walls turned a rich, quiet green. The kind that absorbs light and sound. The kind that doesn't apologize for being exactly what it is. Max lay curled in the hallway, watching me move framed prints across the floor. I held one up. What do you think of this? He blinked. That's a yes. I hung it in the entryway. An abstract skyline. Nothing literal. Just suggestion and color. By afternoon, the new chairs arrived. Soft linen, low arms. I'd sold the leather ones Eric liked. Too stiff. Too performative. The buzzer rang. Package, the delivery man said. I signed. Inside the box, a brass food bowl set for Max and the collar I'd ordered. Amanda's voice echoed from memory. Don't lose him again. I knelt beside him. Come here. He shuffled forward. Calm now. I unfastened the old collar, the one Eric had picked, and slid the new one on. Matte black, simple, engraved with my number. Max nudged my hand. I know, I said. We're home now. That night, I stood in the living room, lights dimmed. Every corner felt intentional. The rug was soft. The bookshelf reordered. My grandmother's quilt folded neatly over the arm of the couch. The door behind me didn't creak. It closed with a clean click. Mine, asterisk 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 asterisk. I wrote it late. Max was asleep by the door, breathing steady. I sat at the kitchen table, pen in hand, paper folded once beside the candle I hadn't lit in months. Eric, you won't read this. That's the point. This isn't for apology. Not yours. Not mine. This is air, not oxygen. Something to release? Not carry. You didn't break me. You scattered me, then waited to see if I'd crawl back together in your shape. I didn't. I paused. The ink pooled slightly in one corner. I kept writing. You used my patience like a lever. My silence like a shield. You confused access for belonging. That's on you. I loved you once. Not the real you, just the story you sold me. I bought it because I needed something beautiful to believe in. That wasn't your gift. That was mine. I folded the page in half. Max's back. He sleeps without flinching now. I don't check the locks twice anymore. I don't think of you when it rains. You should know. I didn't take revenge. I took inventory. What was mine, I reclaimed. What was yours, I left. And what never belonged to either of us, I finally put down. I signed nothing. Out on the balcony. I lit a match, dropped it into the bowl, and watched the letter curl into smoke. It didn't rise fast. It lingered. Asterisk asterisk. Max trotted beside me, tail high, leash loose between us. The wind carried the scent of roasted chestnuts and rain-washed sidewalks. Spring had finally settled in, soft but unapologetic. You want to take the long way? I asked. He blinked like it was obvious. We crossed into the park. No hesitation. No checking over my shoulder. Just forward. A woman waved from the bench near the fountain. You're early. Habit, I said, smiling. How's your class? Sharp. One of them wrote a scene that made me jealous. She laughed. That's when you know they're ready. I nodded. They're asking harder questions. You always said the right questions matter more than the answers. They do. Max lay at my feet as we talked. The woman, Evelyn, gathered her tote. I'll see you Thursday? I'll bring cookies. Bribery still works. She left. Max stretched, groaned softly. I knelt beside him. One more loop? His ears twitched. We moved again, past joggers. Tourists, the saxophonist by the elm trees. A child asked to pet him. I said yes. The boy grinned, thanked me. No one asked who he belonged to. No one asked who I used to be. By the time we reached the apartment, the sun had shifted west, the door closed behind us, quiet, sure, exactly 800 words, ***.